Should you put your emergency fund in the stock market? Is this valid? Is this good? Is this a good style for you to protect yourself, to hedge yourself, but at the same way, still make money over the long term? If you want to know more about this, check this video out. Hi everyone, this is Marvin Gurmo. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and smash that bell so you get updated every time I post new content about investing, about the stock market, about principles to help you make your money work hard for you. I just have one goal. I just want more and more Filipinos to reach for their dreams, to know the rudiments of how they can invest and how they can make their money work hard for them. So if you find value in this channel, I'd like to implore you, please subscribe and smash that bell and enjoy the rest of this video. Hey guys, so over the past few days, weeks, months, as you all know, I've been listening to all of your questions, all of your comments, and there have been a bit of questions asking about, since the stock market is liquid, meaning you can buy a stock at any time you want, you can also sell it at any time you want, then maybe it's a valid option to put your emergency funds in the stock market. Because think about this, the rationale behind that point is basically this. Number one, you put your money in the stock market. There's an emergency. You can pull it out easily. Number two, what if the emergency never happens? And chances are, people have been saying, the emergency never happens. It never happens that I would need the money, that I would take it out and put it into that emergency. So instead of it being in the bank, rotting and not making any money, then I might as well just put it in the stock market, because if the emergency does not happen, it doesn't occur, then at least I have my money working hard for me. That's the main narrative, that's the main context of that particular argument. But let me tell you this. Number one, the basic reason you have an emergency fund is if an emergency happens, you can take out that money easily without batting an eyelash. Now, here's the thing. It's true that an emergency may never happen, but this is something that I'm sharing based on my own experience. I'm a stock market trader and investor. I'm a person who everything that I'm double downing in is in the market, is in investments. And if you know the narrative of the stock market, you know the narrative of capital markets, you cannot predict the growth of your investments. What happens on a good year may not happen on the next year. If you're earning 40% on this year, it doesn't mean you're gonna earn 40% also on the next year. Meaning, with the exception of preferred shares, with the exception of dividend investing, if you're after capital appreciation, it's hard for you to predict the amount of money that you will get specifically. Now, here's the thing. Because you cannot predict what will possibly happen, here's the thing. People always talk about if there's an emergency, I'll just take out my money. And people would always say that, what if your stocks are down? Then you will be at a loss. Before I touch into that, I want to say this. What if your stocks are up? And I've been saying this in the previous videos. Majority of my mistakes when it comes to investing is not because I sold too quick. It's not because that I did not cut losses, but most of my mistakes were I took profits too quick. I should have let my winners run. I should have let those uptrends massively move up. And that's why I'm saying that you need to not put your money in the stock market. Do not put your emergency fund in the stock market, because if your stock is in an uptrend, the worst thing that you can do is sell it. If your stock is moving up, your stock is pushing up, your stock is still massively breaking out, why will you sell it? Why will you sell a winning position just because you have an emergency? Why will you sell a winning position just because there's something that needs the attention? What I want to tell you is this. You set aside that money for that emergency. It may happen or it may not, but the cash is there. Please remember this, point number one. Never put your emergency fund in the stock market, because cash is still king. Cash is still a position. Cash will protect you when bad things will happen. Cash is your hedge. Cash is something that if bad things happen, it's right there. You can take it out easily. What if the emergency is on a weekend? What if lumipad yung bubong nyo sa weekend, nasira yung kotse nyo on a weekend? That emergency needs your liquidity right there, right now, that you can easily get. That's why a lot of people are asking, do you need to put a large amount of money in your ATM? Of course, it has to be an amount that should an emergency happen, and this is case to case, depending on what type of emergency happens on your family. You already know this is something that's very, very personal. You have a larger family, there might be a bigger risk attached to it as well. You have a smaller family, it might be smaller. There are a lot of people depending on you. You might need a larger amount of money. You have a family member who's always sick, always rushed to the hospital, always needs this amount of money for medicine, then probably you need a larger amount of money as well. So the reason why you need your emergency fund to be in cash, to be in savings accounts, to be in ATM, if you have a safe, it could be also there, is because if something happens and banks are closed, the stock market is closed, you can easily get that money at that very point in time. That's one. Number two is what I mentioned earlier. If your position is up, why would you want to sell it because you have an emergency? Better have that cash when the emergency is there. By all means, use that cash for that emergency. And the only reason why people say that sayang if you put your money in the bank, it's not gonna win. That's true if all of your money is in the bank. But if you have businesses, you have investments, you have stocks, and it's outperforming and beating whatever rate you want to put out there, whatever benchmark you're putting out there, then it's okay. Because why? Let me tell you this. Having cash gives you the confidence. I said that being reliant on investing has pushed me to put in and set aside as much cash as possible, because having more cash will give you the confidence. Having more cash will give you the confidence that even if the market drops massively 6 months from now, you're okay. Even if the market is not so good, you won't have to think, you won't have to worry. And please know this, iba yung analysis ng isang tao na he has nothing to lose because he has a stockpile of cash protecting him, versus someone na if I make a mistake here and an emergency happens, I won't be able to get by. I want you to make sure that the money that you put into the stock market is something that even if it goes to zero, you are supposed to be okay. That's why I've been hammering that over and over and over. And a lot of people are saying that the stock market is not just about technicals and fundamentals. That's pretty true. Why? It's also about your mentality about money. Never put an amount of money that you will touch tomorrow. Never put an amount of money that you will touch 1 year from now that you will put in the stock market. You're not supposed to do that. Only put money in the stock market that you don't plan to touch over a very, 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 very long period of time as well. So that's my take about it. Next is this. If your stock is down, then you're even in bigger trouble, because if your stock is down, there's an emergency, you are a long-term investor, you will be forcing yourself to cut loss. You will be forcing yourself to cut a very, very large amount of money just because there's an emergency. That's why my style, what I highly suggest to all of you, that the stock market should be your last layer. Meaning, kung naubos na lahat ng pera nyo, all of your cash, all of your other liquid investments, liquid assets, and also low-risk assets have been depleted, that's the time you take out your money in the market. That's the time you use the money for that emergency if everything else is depleted. But if you still have cash, by all means, if you're earning, that's why it's very, very important that you build your emergency fund while you are working, so that if you quit your job and you go full-time investing, you go full-time business, that emergency fund is already complete, it's already robust. I'll tell you this, one of the reasons why a lot of people want to put their emergency fund in the stock market is, this is the root cause of it, nagmamadali. And you don't have to rush it. There's no shortcuts to wealth. There's no shortcuts for you to grow your money. Do not rush getting rich, because getting rich is a process. That's why if you follow this channel, this is never about get rich quick. This is all about get rich right. You have to fall in love with the process. You have to slowly do it. You have to build that emergency fund. You have to build that cash fund until it becomes massively good, massively strong, and it will protect you, and it will give you the confidence to trade the markets as well. And here's the thing, it will allow you to buy stocks that a lot of other people will think is very, very risky, very, very volatile. And it doesn't just go in the stock market. The reason why I can invest in Bitcoin, the reason why I can invest in other items, other assets that people consider risky, it's because I have an emergency fund. It's because I have cash. It's because I have something set aside for a particular purpose. You have to put a name to every peso that comes your way. And for me, one name is the stock market, for investing, for my dreams, for my goals, for my growth, for my cash flow. But there's another one for emergencies. put a name to every peso and segregate it. Do not intertwine it. And I've been saying this also in every video. When I say put a name to every peso, even my wife has her shopping budget, shopping allowance. It's an expense. It's not an asset, but it's a name. It's me putting a name to every peso that comes our way. And in the same way, for the stock market, no emergency funds there. I will never put my emergency fund in the stock market. So if you're asking me what works for me, what gives me the confidence to be able to make daring trades, what gives me the confidence to do other things that other people don't do, is because I have an emergency fund. My emergency fund is my buffer. My emergency fund is my protection. My emergency fund is my sense of confidence that if all things go bad, I have something to fall back on. I have a fallback plan of cash that will protect me and that will hedge me as well. So if you're asking me, should you put your money, your emergency fund, in the stock market? The answer to that is no. Next, comment below if you are learning. Comment below if this is something that's adding so much value to you. Comment below if you want me to make a series out of this. Because if you do, I will make number one, what is an emergency fund? How many months should you actually put in an emergency fund? A lot of people are talking about 6 months, but I'll tell you what I do. If you want to know more about that, comment below. I want to learn more about emergency funds, and I'll make this a series. Number two, suggestion that I can make as a topic for emergency funds: what are the actual investments? What are the actual assets and money that you should place your emergency funds in? So that alone, we could possibly have 2 more videos off of this. But I want you to know, if this gets a lot of likes, that means you guys are interested in this. So if there's a lot of likes in this and people comment, I guess, I want more emergency fund, I'm gonna do that. Second topic will be, how much do you need to put as an emergency fund? Third topic is, what investment is a good asset place where you're supposed to put your emergency fund as well. So I guess that's it for now. This is my 4th video for the day, but I keep on pushing, I keep on hustling, because at the end of the day, doing videos is amazing. This is the game. For those who want to see me live and want to learn from our seminar settings, the links are down below in the description on the Stock Smart series sessions that I am conducting in different parts of the world. February, Taiwan; March, Manila; April, London; May, Singapore and Qatar; August, Sydney; November, Tokyo and Dubai. And for those who want to read the books that I've created, all of them are also in the description box below for you guys to order it via Shopee as well. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. This is not the normal technical fundamental analysis. This is me laying the groundwork also this 2020, that you need to set your proper foundation right. Because if you don't set your proper financial house in order, gigiba yun eh. The strongest thing that you need to work on is the foundation. The strongest thing that you need to work on is your financial plan, your foundation. And doing that is to have a solid stockpile of cash that will protect you when emergencies happen. So never put your emergency fund in the stock market. That's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you and pushes you to live out your dreams. And I hope this helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.